PSA: I quit my job during a pandemic, but I'm not here to tell you what to do with your life. Everyone's situations are unique. Stop giving unsolicited specific advice to people who may be in a bad place and susceptible to persuasion or harmful advice from an ignoramus. Be thoughtful about whatever decision you face. Discuss big decisions with people you trust and who support you. Trust your instincts. Make a plan to move forward no matter what you decide to do. This is the stuff we should be encouraging people to do. Not just laying out blanket, "Hey, it worked for me at age 22, so it must work for everyone." Crap. Edit. BT the way. I'm not advocating one way or another. I'm advocating for people to decide what is best for them. I quit during the pandemic, twice. That doesn't mean anyone else should, and I would never encourage anyone to do so unless it was the right choice that they came to on their own. Asterisk. Based on millions of variables that make up their unique existence. Asterisk. Some of us are more employable than others. Some of us are willing to take a significant pay cut to escape their mentally abusive manager. Some of us have a significant amount of money or a support system where if you can't find a job, you won't become homeless. Some of us have expensive medical issues where, if you don't have high-quality healthcare, you literally cannot afford to live. Some of us have families that depend on us, limited resources, and, despite the fact we hate our jobs, cannot afford to be without a job. There is no rule of thumb when it comes to career planning. Every single situation is different. Don't give suggestions, only share your experience. Don't like your job? Join the club. Try to find a job before leaving. Plan like your life depends on it, because it might. Many years ago, I worked in a largish division, and every September, the accounting group worked long hours and was forbidden from taking leave, especially that final week. Every year they complained, but one year they got management to agree it wasn't fair, so they banned leave for everyone for the month of September. Could anyone else help accounting submit end-of-year stuff before the legal deadline? No. Could anyone else cause a delay by being out? No. Did other people have to schedule leave around their group's own do-or-die deadlines? Yes, I had scheduled leave, approved from months prior. It was, coincidentally, the first time in years I took more than a day of sick leave. Someone else tried to get out for a marriage and was told to pound sand. I shrugged, packed up my desk, and asked my manager to do me the courtesy of letting me know if I was fired before I would be driving back into work the Monday of my return. I'd really hate to waste that drive time, you know. Now, instead of being an internet, and everyone clapped, his name was Albert Einstein's story. The important part is that I was a kid with no responsibilities. I had co-workers with mortgages, kids, and medical bills. I gave exactly no one grief for not joining some general strike, or anything, although if they wanted to fix the problem, anyone who wanted to vicariously enjoy my circumstances that allowed me to do what they wished they could, I was happy to share. But I knew I was privileged to be in a position to walk. As it happened, I came back and no one talked about my missing week, and management never again cancelled everyone's leave. But there's no saying I couldn't have been totally F***ed and it went the other way. I got laid off in July from a great paying job, and it has been a nightmare. I can't get a job at a taco truck right now. Wake up every day, job search all day, scams or bullshit sketchy jobs. Every industry is different. Unfortunately, I don't see the light. This is the reason why I'm not quitting right now. Although it is a mental strain right now and I'm getting more and more depressed about it, I don't see a light either. I know we will survive eventually, but right now it does seem bleak. I've even looked at entry-level jobs for a place to start, and even those are hopeless. I'm in the IT field, but unfortunately in management. Then my husband, who has recruiters reaching out to him. Just depends on the field, I guess. Hang in there. I know I'm just an internet stranger, but I'm rooting for you to find something soon. Get out of bed each day, put one foot in front of the other, and eventually it'll work out. I believe that. Have you tried pizza delivery? Pretty popular in a pandemic. TD ad: keep an open mind if you'd like to get a new job during the pandemic. Companies are still struggling to adjust. We recently hired someone who quit within 2 months because they expected to work with our team more and didn't feel included, yet they chose to leave the office and work from home after they had been trained, chose not to reach out and speak with other remote workers via Teams chat, and chose to stay silent and not speak during our daily work update catch-up phone calls. It may take longer to figure out office dynamics, procedures, and get to know your co-workers. That doesn't mean it will be like that forever. I agree with this. People tremendously undervalue the quality of their mental health and how much it impacts them. It wasn't during the pandemic, but it was during my wife, fiancé at the time, and I moving into our first apartment together. And my job had become so toxic that she even urged me to quit, knowing she'd be the sole income for a bit. It was 100% worth it, but like what Op said, everyone is different, and I don't urge anyone to quit, but to not be afraid of considering it if you need to. Very well said. Thank you. I quit my job of 13 years this week because the leadership couldn't care less about the people. My supervisor is incapable of leading without being super disrespectful and literally shoved a long bed cart into me, and socially most of the people in the company are high-functioning alcoholics that talk about everybody's personal lives. I felt stuck, trapped, like I was everybody's punching bag and like I didn't have any other options. It was terrifying to quit because I need to keep a roof over my head and I have a girlfriend and a kid to provide for. I feel much less stressed already now that I'm out of there, but holy shit, it was hard to do, especially during a pandemic. I currently have my foot in the door to a new position that's similar enough to my old job and will start at $5 an hour, more than my previous job of 13 years where I still wasn't making more than $20 an hour. I don't have the job yet, so I'm not putting my eggs in one basket and continuing to apply to places. I was fortunately able to put together a rainy day fund that will give me some time to find a new job because I'm in warehouse manufacturing, and manufacturing and warehouses are hiring like mad right now. I think it is important to be mindful of your situation and take all details and contingencies into account before making any big life-altering decisions. I love reading uplifting stories about people moving on to something bigger and better for them as human beings, but I certainly don't believe everybody is so lucky. I agree. The older you get and the more people, things you are responsible for, the harder it is to just quit a job willy-nilly. Not many people seem to think about that. A lot of people are paycheck to paycheck, and that actually means a lot of people have to scrape by, sometimes by the pennies, before their next paycheck. Yes, I quit my job, but I wouldn't recommend it to anyone unless they can handle the stress and have enough savings of not having income. The job market is scarce right now, so don't expect to get a job right away. I had enough savings, but I was still stressed every day. I don't regret my decision, but that's for you to decide if you can handle that type of stress. Try to get another job lined up. Or if you really dread your job, look into seasonal work that pays decent. Some companies are mass hiring for the holidays right now. Personally, I have enough money and seriously considering it. My supervisor is awful. We're buried in work because she never hires anybody. No leadership, no direction. People are petty and always changing the temperature of the room. Cold air blowing on everybody. Some clown came in this week coughing and sneezing saying, "Don't worry, I'm just sick." Like WTF. And today some idiot was spraying a bottle of perfume or cologne, and now my nostril feels fucking dry. It is a shit job with ignorant morons, and I have to work mandatory OT with these deadbeats. Definitely not recommending it. I'm not living paycheck to paycheck. Everyone's in a different spot in life. If I quit a job without one lined up a decade ago, it wouldn't take long for me to be couch surfer. Quit in August and have been much happier since. The stress of finding a newer job is much more manageable than being in a toxic work environment. Is this in reference to another post? If so, can you link it? Hello. Thank you for posting to our jobs. We just wanted to let you know that we have a new Discord server. Come join the chat. Tamabot, and this action was performed automatically. Please contact the moderators of this subreddit if you have any questions or concerns. Also keep in mind there are thousands of people being laid off or fired due to no fault of their own. Sometimes not leaving a job isn't an option provided. I lost my job in January because of funding, bureaucracy, etc. I was offered a position in March with an insurance company as an agent. Before I was finished with my training in April, I quit because the place was sketchy AF. I've been unemployed since. It sucks. But damn if it wasn't the best decision I could have made for myself. Other people. Like and subscribe for more Reddit content. Watch the next video at the top of your screen.